So, with the release of anything, there's always issues, and 𝓥𝓲𝓭𝓮 is no exception to that. Even though the moveset is pretty cool and unique, there are definitely problems with it, specifically the ultimate, that need to be addressed. This video will be slightly different from my typical style, because instead of some nice pro-con little review of 𝓥𝓲𝓭𝓮, it's more of a brief discussion as to the issues and problems that 𝓥𝓲𝓭𝓮 currently has. Now, to preface things, I do like the moveset, but everything always has room for improvement, so yeah. Anyways, without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. Alright, first move is Dance, and honestly, I both like and dislike this move. First off, the M1 version is fairly nice to land, and I like its combo starting capabilities. Also a nice guard break, but parryable for balance reasons, which I can't understand. However, there are some things that feel weird about it. One thing to note is that the hitbox is kind of weird. You can end up right in front of your opponent after using the move, but it won't actually hit them, and while I'm just wildly speculating, I think the hitbox is more around your character than in front of you. Not a dev, so I have no idea, but yeah, this hitbox is off. Also, it's a really easy move to punish because you can literally just parry it. Unlike Roar, it has a travel distance, so it's really easy to read and respond to accordingly, making it a little bit weak. Now, for the second version of Dance, which is the M2, it's okay? Like, it's not great, but it works for combo extending, I guess. And it also has hyper armor, which is good for catching people off guard in M1 trades. Still don't see it being used nearly as much as Dance M1 though, and the reason for that is probably because of how slow and close range it feels. I guess it's a good move, and I wouldn't change it necessarily, but yeah, Dance feels kinda off. Both moves are so weird to combo extend off of, which is something to take notice of. Dance M1 is a dash attack, so of course it would be hard to combo extend off of, but Dance M2 is weird because it's two small dashes you have to aim, and it doesn't have enough stun to be easy to extend off of. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, since this issue is one that's way more subjective, so I won't try to offer some broad solution here. Still, it's something to think about. As for Clear Blue Sky, this move is just kind of okay. It's a simple combo extender, and also a really neat guard break. The hitbox is odd, just like Dance, but not to the point I'd really change anything. There's no hyper armor either, which is up to you as to how you want to interpret that, but definitely means it's not some close range guard break like Roar. It does have the property of being an unparryable guard break though, so I guess that makes up for it somewhat. Really not much to say here because it's just that simple of a move, so let's move on to Fake Rainbow. Fake Rainbow is a great evasive, and I honestly think the move is fine as it is. Maybe there will be people that disagree with me, but it's not that bad. Really great evasive that moves a user instead of pushing other players, meaning that you can get out of things like musical combo with it. Basically like Throwback, but without the Tamari ball. You can also use Dance right after it, which is a really nice combo that can catch inexperienced players off guard. The cooldown is longer than the normal evasive by quite a bit, which, I don't know how to feel about honestly. Yes, it's better than most evasives, but it is a pretty big cooldown. Just like with Dance, I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments, since this is way more subjective than anything else. Now, let's move on to the worst part of 𝓥𝓲𝓭𝓮, and the most problematic part, which is Hinokami. Okay, so Hinokami sucks, and I hope we can all agree on that. I haven't seen many people, except for some devil's advocates, say that it's a good ultimate, and public opinion is basically unanimous on the move being complete garbage. So, to list out the basic reasons why it sucks, here they are. First issue, it's a reskin of Constant Flux, meaning that your opponent can literally just jump on a rock, or total concentration run away, and you can't do jack about it. This is an issue with other ultimates as well, but even worse with Hinokami because of the next issue that I'm about to bring up, which is the fact that you get stunned for missing the last hit. The last hit of a Hinokami is an attack that ragdolls you if you miss it, and because of this, you basically give your opponent a free combo if you use it on a map that isn't completely flat with no trees or anything. Now, a free combo wouldn't be too bad if you had an evasive and some health to spare, but you probably wouldn't have any health to spare because of the third issue, being the fact that this move drains your health like crazy. Each hit of Hinokami drains your health, feeding into the move's all or nothing kind of nature. This is a really cool concept on paper, but pairing this with the fact that you're stunned at the end means that you basically just lose if your opponent avoids the move, since you literally just die to a single M1. But if it's got these many issues, it's probably gotta do something good, right? Well, no. The fourth reason this move sucks is because it does basically nothing. Yes, the hits have stun, but it's not nearly long enough to confirm each hit, and you'll have a lot of trouble even catching up to your opponent to land a hit in the first place. Also, the main hits of the move do decent damage, but definitely not enough to make up for the stun. However, that last hit with the cool cutscene is completely useless, doing like 5 to 10 damage when you land it. For something with that much startup and such a heavy punishment for missing it, a damage value that low is hilarious. You literally gain nothing for landing the move, but have everything to lose if you miss it. But that's not all, because there's a final reason that Hinokami sucks. The fifth and final reason this ultimate sucks is because it's guarded and doesn't have hyper armor or iframes. If you interrupt the user by hitting them with a guard break, or literally just block bypassing them, the move ends for them and they lose the ultimate. However, with just how bad this move is, canceling it early for your opponent might actually be a favor. But the fact you can end it that easily is definitely not a good thing and should probably be changed. Alright, so now that we've gotten the issues of Hinokami out of the way, let's talk about how to fix it. First off, that health drain. Good grief, please lower it a little bit, at least by enough so that landing it is a benefit for you and not a negative. Second, buff the damage of that last hit by a lot. Like, a lot. When every other ult is doing 40 to 50 damage, with the lowest being 35 damage on a frame 1 ultimate from Insect, doing like 10 damage is terrible. This doesn't even combo extend either like Godspeed, so there's literally no excuse for it being this bad. As for the hit stun, that's fine. Having the hits confirm into each other would probably be overpowered, so I won't change that. As for being guarded, it should probably have hyper armor instead. The fact that you can cancel an ultimate that's supposed to be all or nothing with one hit from striking Tide is comical. Please change this because it's awful. As for ragdolling you if you missed the last hit, that's not really a great feature for something this terrible. I recommend the developers maybe make the stun a little bit less painful to deal with, so that you can at least survive by gaining distance from your opponent. Otherwise, the move remains a useless mess that nobody will ever want to use. Now, the most important issue is the fact that your opponent can jump on a wall to avoid it. And for that, I really don't know how to fix that honestly. Rengoku, Annihilation type, Godspeed, and Constant Flux all get countered by the same scenario. It's just that Hinokami has a penalty for missing, which makes the fact that it can be countered that easily much worse. Maybe you can make it so that you can jump with Hinokami, but that might be overpowered. Up to your decision as to how you want to fix that, so I won't give you some definite do this now kind of solution. Anyways, with all of that in mind, Sun Breathing's decent. The first 3 moves are great, but the ultimate definitely needs some fixing to become an actual functioning move. However, all we can do is hope that CZ or IMED watch this video and make the changes that are needed accordingly. CZ's pretty busy with personal matters though, and IMED probably doesn't watch my channel, so chances of anything happening immediately are slim to none. Hopefully it does get fixed though, so yeah. Anyways, with that being said, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed watching, please like and subscribe since it helps out a lot, and I greatly appreciate it. As always, I'm 𝓥𝓲𝓭𝓮𝓸, and I'll see you next time in another video. Bye!